Soroti Hospital is grappling with handling expectant mothers with special needs. The facility lacks proper toilets, beds, and wheelchairs. The expectant mothers of special needs in Soroti district have raised concern over their inability to access maternal health care delivery services at Soroti Regional Referral Hospital. Stella Aligo, 35 years, a mother of one and a resident of Soroti municipality, narrating her experience at the time she was going to deliver her first child, recalls it was a very nasty experience that she wishes no other mother in her state should undergo.
Now I want to go and defecate. The toilets are very dirty. Most of the people who are on shoes, they are just even, somebody is in shoes, but the person is fearing to enter in the toilet. But now how about me who is crawling? I'm suffering. I have nowhere to go. Tell me what to do now. Sincerely, I had somebody. This man is a love technician. He really helped me. I could not believe. The man helped me like his wife. He told me that because, you know, when you are pregnant, urine. Most of the time you feel urine. And the man told me that you urinate in this thing. But in the bucket, I really swim in the bucket. And imagine. These people, sincerely, in this main hospital, they don't bother about us. The beds are not there for us. The bathrooms are not there for us. Let me say everything is not there for us. For us, we are just fugitives. That day when the time now reached for me for delivery, because I went to the doctor to check whether I could push. Then the doctor told me that, Stella, for you will not push. Just request for a Caesar. Then I went, the doctor told me. Soon when I came, just moping for a whole week, no baby. Because I had nowhere to enter. The toilets are very bad. For you, you are crawling. No way of helping yourself. Most of the challenges I faced when I was here. I have nowhere to sleep. You sleep with the people. Even it's hard to explain sometimes. Sometimes me, if I start explaining, I feel like crying.
This concern is not only felt by Aligo alone. Jen Alum, 47 years and a mother of 3, also recollects having a similar experience while giving birth at the same facility in the recent past.
We are very many. One of them, accessing the toilet is very difficult. There is no ramp and there is no way you can access the toilet. You know, as persons with disability, we are already weak due to our disability. Now again, when you deliver, there is a lot of weaknesses. Now accessing that step is very difficult. On top of that, it is not us only, persons with disability, who are using them. It is used generally. For example, if the place is watery, and when you move just like that, you can slide and then you fall down. So you increase again the pain on the other pain which is already there. Then on top of that, when you go to access those days, the labor bed is high, and imagine how I can really conditionally access that bed. I was just supported by the midwives who were helping me by that time in the labor bed to make me access that high labor bed.
Alice Gressa Paco, the in-charge maternity ward at Soroti Hospital, acknowledges that lack of basic facilities like adjustable beds, patient trolleys are some of the key challenges the unit faces in helping these mothers to deliver.
Those ones, they can climb here, step here and go on the bed. But when it comes to the mother who is crippled, she's not able to climb on these steps and come on the bed. So at least we need a wheelchair whereby the mother is brought from there and then we can place the mother on the bed. And this is the delivery bed. And this bed is a fixed one, it's not the one which can be adjusted. But if we had those beds which can be adjusted, you can roll it down to the lowest level so that the mother can enter in the bed and then you can raise her and go out. And then from here, we're also having challenges of patient trolleys, rolling the patients up to the theater. So they should have the trolleys, whereby we put them on the trolleys and then we wheel them up to the theater, and then from the theater back to the ward, and the same thing. And it happens now to the loose. And then now, when they go to the loose, they are all flat, and we have so many patients here. We are overwhelmed with patients. So you find that mothers bathe, there's that stuff of blood after delivery, and then maybe it is the crippled mother who is supposed to go in the bed, and she goes in the stuff. And you might find that in the system of mixing up, a mother can pick up infection, even HIV, even hepatitis B, because the provision is not convenient for those ones who are disabled. And then another thing is like, maybe if we happen to receive a mother who is deaf, we don't have that specialty of speaking to them. Because we cannot, we are not trained in those special needs. So we find a way of, we find it difficult, challenging, how to communicate to them. Those are the challenges that we have. Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Martin Owuna, the head of Department Obstetrics and Gynecology at Sorority Hospital, admits that the facility has a lot of challenges in handling specific types of special needs mothers.
I think our concern today is about the disabled mothers. What I can say is that in Sorority General Referral Hospital, we do not discriminate against any mother. We treat our mothers equally. When we receive a disabled mother, we treat her just like any other mother who has come to access a service. Okay, there are some challenges in handling these mothers, and the challenges come depending on the type of disability. For example, those who are severely crippled, you may have a challenge on how to get them to a bed, on how to examine them. Those are some of the challenges. And in circumstances where they require cesarean section, for example, because those who are majorly crippled may require cesarean section. If you move them to theater, there may be a challenge on how to administer the medicine to do the cesarean section. Because if the back is distorted and you want to give a spinal anesthesia, you need to look up for the space to administer this medicine. So those are some of the challenges. And when they come back from theater to the ward, usually we have a few challenges with them. How to get them to ambulate, because we want our patients to ambulate very fast. That is to get out of bed so that they can recover very fast. But our experience shows that most of our mothers who are crippled, even when operated, have recovered just normally like any other mother who has no disability. The issues of personal hygiene and issues to helping themselves while in the ward, it remains a challenge because we do not have special bathrooms for them. We do not have special toilets for them. But just like I said in one of my statements, in African setting, we usually have people around us, and it is usually the relatives who try and help these people around this system, such that they help themselves in the toilets, they help themselves in the bathrooms. I think one among the challenges that people with disabilities face, as I said, is sometimes, as I said, when they conceive, they are overwhelmed with the pregnancy. There tends to be social rejection for these people, from my experience talking to them. I think one thing we need to do is to make sure that we educate our community to give these people the necessary support, initially at the community level, because they equally deserve to have a child. And when you come to our systems here, I think it's a high time as we proceed in our development, we build buildings, which have provisions for people with disabilities. We should create toilets, bathrooms that are really specialized for this category of people. As you look around this ward was built way back in the 1950s. Our mothers sleep on the floor. And that already tells you many things, that we are still struggling with space. We actually need space in this hospital. Our bed occupancy in this hospital, in this ward, goes to over 400%. That means much of the time, our mothers are sleeping on the floor.
Soroti District Council has allocated a budget of 16% for people with disabilities. But with the magnitude of the problems special needs persons are facing, this is not enough.
That's why I'm also, since now I'm a leader for persons with disability, I'm continuing advocating for the rights of persons with disability, more so women with disabilities who are still reproductive. You find, especially those who crawls, I think you even saw the toilets just now, how they were wet, they are slippery, and the person is using the hands. Then secondly, there's no mobility. There are only few wheelchairs in this hospital. And these wheelchairs are used all over the wards. Like now, I'm not seeing one in that labor ward. I'm only seeing there is one which is in Opus Theatre now, right now. It is there. And when you need a wheelchair, it is your attendant again to move around the wards to get that wheelchair, so that you will be supported to enter where you want. So there is really a lot of challenges in the hospital. More so on the side of hygiene. We are really vulnerable to diseases. You are using hands for moving, at the same time the place is dirty. There is no way you can access it. So I'm really advocating that the government should take care of persons with disability in health-wise. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Money is little. Money is sent from the headquarters is conditioned. You find at times it's not budgeted for our need. So according to the percentage, disability takes 16%. Then followed by youth. Then women takes much. That is how it is. Now imagine 16%. What can it do? One tricycle costs about 360,000 and a wheelchair. Now sometimes they budget 300, 500,000 for disability. What can that money really do? So we are still continuing to advocate for the rights of persons with disability. That let the government really think deep into the concern of persons with disability in this country.
Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, constructed in 1927, was originally an outpatient facility, but in 1960, it was elevated to hospital status. In 1998, it was elevated into a regional referral hospital with currently a general capacity of 300 beds.